Good evening, everyone. Foremost, I want to ask everyone at this time to please refrain from using your cell phone or taking photos during the ceremony. But if you discover any rare Pokemon in the area, please text me. Friends and family, we are gathered here today to witness the union of two incredibly special people, Jason Krantz and Lila Jonas. Two people who have been by each other's sides for over a decade, and who I am fortunate enough to have grown alongside for the past nearly 16 years. I first met Jason at Camp Coleman in Cleveland, Georgia. We both wore Green Day t-shirts and were equally disinterested in sports. I first met Lila when her email address was witchmermaid@aol.com, and despite what she may tell you today, I'm convinced it still is. Today feels inevitable. Jason and Lila getting married, finally. But I think that deserves to be examined a little more closely. You know, meeting the right person as young as Jason and Lila met each other, 16 and 17 years old, is not easy. Yes, you've met the one. Someone's gonna make your life happier, more fulfilling, complete. But you're also in a time of your life where everything is uncertain and ever-changing. You're eager to have new experiences with new people, and being in a committed relationship is not always conducive with that. Sacrifice is not something typically embraced by young people, especially when it comes to their romantic lives. But there were very few moments throughout Lila and Jason's relationship without sacrifice. Long distance for the first year of their relationship. Long distance for another 5 years of college and grad school. Then, after spending their entire lives in Florida, moving to Pennsylvania and into an apartment together for the first time. All the while having to make their very different schedules and career paths coexist. At so many points, either of them had a perfectly acceptable out. Who could have blamed them? But people who truly love each other don't look for outs. They look for compromises, and ultimately they look for solutions. Now, Lila and Jason are not conventional people. They don't take trips to tropical resorts with day spas. They board airplanes to Thailand, to Israel, to Turkey, often without so much as a hotel room booked for when they arrive. They were drinking kombucha before Whole Foods had even heard of it. And if you had told me that they had decided to never get married as some sort of protest against the very institution of marriage, I wouldn't have blinked twice. Which to me makes their decision and this moment even more special. Two people who beat to their own drum, welcoming and willfully engaging in a tradition that from the beginning of modern time has served as the starting line for two people building a complete life together. They stand here today still as young people, but as young people who have weathered storms together that many had not by the day of their wedding. These two are battle-tested. Jason, empathetic and altruistic. Lila, humanitarian and imaginative. Together, magnetic and unconditionally accepting of others. These two embody a spectrum of good values and desirable traits, both as people and as partners. They deserve each other, but more importantly, they belong with each other. And now turn things over to Lila and Jason for the first time, who will be reading a passage from Sandal Warburg's I Like You.
I like you, and I know why. I like you because when I tell you something special, you know it's special, and you remember it a long, long time. When I say something funny, you laugh. I think I'm funny, and you think I'm funny too. I like you because I know you know where I'm ticklish, and you don't tickle me there, except just a little tiny bit sometimes. But if you do, then I know where to tickle you too. You know how to be silly, and that's why I like you. Boy, are you ever silly. I never met anybody sillier than me till I met you. I like you because you know when it's time to stop being silly. Maybe day after tomorrow, maybe never. Too late, it's 1/4 silly. If I'm a goofus on the roofus hollering my head off, you are one too. That's because you really like me, and I really like you back. And you like me back, and I like you back, and that's the way we keep on going every day. I like you because if we go away together, and if we are in Grand Central Station, and if I get lost, then you are the one that is yelling for me.
If you find two four-leaf clovers, you give me one. If I find 4, I give you 2. If we only find 3, we keep on looking. Sometimes we have good luck, and sometimes we don't. I like you because I don't know why. But everything that happens is nicer with you. I can't remember when I didn't like you. It must have been lonesome then. I like you because. I forget why I like you, but I do. For so many reasons. On the 4th of July, I like you because it's the 4th of July. On the 5th of July, I like you too. If you and I had some drums, and some horns, and some horses, if we had some hats and some flags and some fire engines, we could be a holiday. It could be a celebration. We could be a whole parade. See what I mean? Even if it was the 999th of July, even if it was August, even if Oakland was barking in the background, even if it was way down at the bottom of November, even if it was no place particular in January, I would go on choosing you. And you would go on choosing me, over and over again. That's how it would happen every time, because I like you.
Lila, Jason, I'm now required to ask you two a few questions to make sure you really know what you're getting yourselves into today. So together, please answer. Are you prepared to enter into marriage according to the laws of the great state of Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Do you come freely and without reservation, pledging to live openly together as partners in a committed and binding relationship?
Yes.
Will you love, protect, and support each other in good times and bad, in sickness and in health, in abundance and want, for as long as you two live?
Yes.
Ultimately, Lila and Jason are here to marry each other. We're here as witnesses, proud and excited for them, but it's their will alone that got them here. And so I now call upon them to share before their friends and family words that they have prepared for each other that will set the tone for the commitment they're making today and for the life that they have ahead of them.
Jason, I am the luckiest human. I have found the most fun, loving partner I could have ever hoped for. I love traveling with you all over the world, tasting crazy new foods, climbing mountains, and anything else you think of for us to do. Not only do you make our days more fun, but your loving heart fiercely surrounds those you care about. So many people here know what a gift it is to be loved by you, and I am so incredibly blessed to have built a life with you that incorporates that love. It seems that there is no end to the love you show others and the kindness that you share with the world. Your strength and patience inspire me to be my truest self and follow my own path. Our love has created the foundation on which we grow and pursue our independent passions, and I could not be more grateful. Hang on. I have watched you transition from a teenager to the amazing man standing in front of me. Even though we have been together so many years, I still wake up every day impressed by your drive and ambition and the wonderful life you have helped create for us. For the next 73 years, whatever life throws our way, I know I want you by my side. You are the perfect partner for me and will be the most wonderful father to our children very far in the future. I love the family we have created, the family we are joining together today, and the family we will one day add. I love you with every inch of my soul. I promise to travel the world with you as long as I have legs to stand on. I promise to communicate with you, no matter how hungry we are. I promise to be the best mother I can be to our children and always honor you as a partner. I promise to pursue fun and excitement in everything we do. And most of all, I promise to choose you every morning when I wake up and every night when I go to sleep. Thank you for choosing me. I love you.
Lila, there's a particular day that sticks out in my memory as the day I fell for you. It was the day I realized you were different than any other girl I had met before. We were only teenagers, and it was pouring rain at camp. Everyone took shelter in the Sukkot and other covered buildings. You grabbed my hand. You took me, running, through the camp garden in the pouring rain. We ran around like children, laughing, kissing, soaking up every second. It was a pure, unadulterated moment of clarity and joy. I don't think I was in love with you at that point, but I knew I loved you. 10 years later, and I have to say that I love you more today than I ever have. Not just because we're getting married, and this is the best day of my life, because it is, but because I fall more in love with you the longer we spend time together. You taught me to look at the world with unwavering compassion. You've pushed me to be my best self since the beginning of our relationship. I have achieved what I have. I am who I am because you're by my side supporting me. You've taught me how to communicate, and through this, our relationship has blossomed. We have worked together to give each other everything we need and most of what we want. You walk into a room and it lights up. You're never alone at a party because people are drawn to you. You bring this palpable energy and passion everywhere you go. I've fallen for this passion and energy time and time again, over and over, for the past 10 years. I catch myself regularly looking at you and wondering how I got so lucky. I promise to always remember that we're not adults, but rather kids trapped inside adult bodies. I will never take life too seriously, and I'll remember that loving you and having fun is always my priority. I promise to be your best friend, someone you can always count on. I'll be there for you when you're sick and depressed, or happy and full of energy. No matter how far you are, know that I'm here for you. I promise to be your partner, not your lesser or superior, but your equal partner. I promise to always take you on adventures, near or far. As long as you keep navigating the cities, I promise to get us off the beaten path and into the woods. I promise to always be honest and communicate with you. Thank you for choosing me.
You know, there are dozens of stories about the symbolism of wedding rings, how they're circular and infinite, like your love for one another or the road to happiness, etc. It's all a little bit dramatic. The way I see it is that humans need to be reminded. Catching a cold is a reminder not to take your health for granted. Hearing the words, "I love you," even if you already know. These rings will serve as reminders to Lila and to Jason of the enormous commitment that they have made to each other, and that on their respective journeys through life and all that life brings, the other will always be there to lean on. Which is Lila's?
This is Lila's. Mine's the big one.
I should know that. Jason, as you place this ring on Lila's finger, please repeat after me. You are my life,
You are my life,
my love,
my love,
and with this ring,
and with this ring,
I marry you.
I marry you.
I promise to be open and honest in our partnership,
I promise to be open and honest in our partnership,
and I pledge myself to you from this day forward
and I pledge myself to you for this day forward
and for all eternity.
and for all eternity.
Lila,
Yeah.
as you place this ring on Jason's finger, please repeat after me. You are my life,
You are my life,
my love,
my love,
and with this ring,
and with this ring,
I marry you.
I marry you.
I promise to be open and honest in our partnership,
I promise to be open and honest in our partnership.
and I pledge myself to you from
And I-
this day forward
And I pledge myself to you from this day forward,
and for all eternity.
for all eternity.
Jason, Lila,
Yeah.
this evening, you two have taken a number of important steps toward marriage. You've declared your intent to become wife and husband. You've made binding pledges and have exchanged rings. You've enacted important rituals that symbolize a lifelong commitment to family, to friends, and to each other. And therefore, with the authority given to me by the state of Pennsylvania, I now pronounce you partners in love and in life. You may now share your first kiss as a married couple. But there's one last thing we have to do before the most important mazel tov of the weekend. We got to break the glass. Why do we do this? Why don't we instead recycle the glass and donate the proceeds to Bernie Sanders? As the story goes, before Lila and Jason entered this world, God split their soul into two, allowing the souls to grow and learn individually, but ultimately with the hope that their two souls would one day find each other and reunite as one. It was only by being torn apart and living lives away from each other that they were able to develop as individuals, to mature, and to grow. We break the glass to celebrate the splitting of their two souls, as the splitting and being free to grow gave their connection the possibility for real depth and real meaning. And friends and family, we are witnessing history today, because this is the first Jewish wedding where a glass will be smashed with a size 14 shoe. Can we get a countdown? A 3, 2, 1? 3, 2, 1. Mazel tov!
We're married. We're married.
now you guys bow out and walk out.